2009, we made history with the election of President Barack Obama. He called us to service as there remains much work to do to end unemployment, poverty, and crime in our communities. There's so many books on how we can accomplish this. But this year, everyone's raving about this summer's hottest new book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America by Chicago's own Emmanuel Barbee. A graduate of Northeastern Illinois University, Barbee addresses key ways we back our families and communities. But unlike so many other books on this topic, Barbee captivates his reader, presenting solutions through a riveting life story. It's entertaining, it's different, it's exciting. The perfect book club selection. Don't be left out. Get your copy of The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Order today at Amazon.com.
Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm Emmanuel Barbee, the creator and host of this show. This podcast is a solution-based approach to addressing and solving Black issues starting in America. This video podcast is also about group interaction, global Black unity, kingdom building, and Black empowerment in the 21st century. The grassroots community activist movement is about making Black liberation a reality throughout the African diaspora. This is an interactive podcast where we address social issues that are important to Black people in the Black community. Community safety, urban violence, unemployment, mass incarceration, failing schools, police brutality, inadequate health care and housing, urban gentrification, and institutionalized racism. This podcast is also about educating Black people by providing a forum in which artists, authors, Black business owners, and Black Christian leaders, as well as Black Muslims, can gather together in a supportive environment. When we say community, we mean it. We are not affiliated with any organizations. We are independent. The grassroots community activist movement incites social change through community engagement that cultivates knowledge, dialogue, and action within the Black community, starting in Chicago. Our vision is to incite empathy, thought, dialogue, and action through our podcast. Our upcoming film and future Black Christian business. We are on the front lines battling corporate radio on behalf of the Black community. I encourage everyone who is listening or watching this video podcast to please subscribe to my Mixcloud page, my YouTube channel, and my Linktree page, which provide the links to all of my major sites. Please share this video podcast with all of your friends on all of the social sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I do this show in order to network with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups. It's convenient because you can participate, listen, or watch this video in the privacy of your home. Tonight's presentation, how the coronavirus exposes Black America unpreparedness yet again, and what we can do about it. Since we are all on lockdown / self-quarantine, let's use this time wisely. Before I go into my presentation, I want my listeners to know that our thoughts and prayers goes out to the victims and their families of COVID-19. In these uncertain times, we're still doing something that matters. We remain dedicated to make sure that our listeners are safe and informed. That being said, we still need your help in spreading this video podcast, and most of all, encouraging others to purchase my revised book, The Solution for Black America, 2nd edition, so that I can do all the things which I have written. We can get we can get through this if we support each other. Once this virus is cleared up, I would take my virtual Christian socialist organization to the next level, the big screen. This virus is a real wake-up call for Black America. My message here on out is either heed or perish. Those in the Black community who refuse to be a part of the solution, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. I just don't have another 28 years to waste. As we see time and time again, whenever there is a major crisis, you see non-Black organizations on the front line. For example, in the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, the genocide in Darfur, and what I continue to speak about on my online talk show. Where are the Black nonprofit organizations when it comes down to solving Black issues at the local level? What exactly is the Congressional Black Caucus doing for the Black community? The grassroots community activist movement will take the lead in reclaiming our culture and unite with other like-minded brothers and sisters who are overlooked by those so-called Black leaders. We need a Black culture revolution for the hearts and minds of our young Black people, starting in America, but specifically in Chicago. If anything we could learn from this coronavirus is that it's time for Black people to unite or perish, bottom line. America is in survival mode because of the coronavirus. Many states in America are on mandatory lockdown / self-quarantine. Places like New York, California, Illinois, Florida, and Louisiana. The coronavirus has exposed a lot of things about American culture. I watch in the news talks about how young people in Florida were not taking this virus serious, having parties at the beach as well as in their homes in my home city, Chicago. Come to find out, many of them have contracted the virus. The media has caused a panic among the public because of the images and rising death tolls in Italy, Spain, and New York. I witnessed firsthand how people are behaving at the grocery store. When I went to Walmart to get some basic items, I noticed the shelves were empty. People were hoarding toilet paper and water. All of this all reminds me about what I've been talking about for the past 28 years. The same message that ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, have been advocating. When Black Americans were discussing Black reparations, career politicians told us that there needs to be a study in the forms of H.R. 40, yet there were no study to pass $2 trillion stimulus to save the American economy. Major corporations are on steroids with the coronavirus outbreak. Businesses are using this crisis to put pressure on the public to give them all kinds of unethical concessions. The coronavirus has shown us how much authority our government has over us. They tell us that we can't go to work, we can't travel, and they can impose martial law nationwide if they want to. The business community were unprepared about this pandemic because during the Clinton administration, the financial elites decided to outsource American manufacturing jobs, known as NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Don't take my word for it, do the research. We live in the information age. Many manufacturing jobs went to Mexico, and they also went to China. As a consequence, the medical community in America was unprepared. Many hospitals were lacking surgical masks, gloves, and ventilators. Now let's take a deeper look into the social issues which this virus has exposed. You have in New York, Attorney General Letitia James. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. That's Letitia. Letitia James, a black woman who has created a hotline for Asian Americans who are facing discrimination and bigotry after the coronavirus outbreak. Notice all of the special legislations given to Asian Americans after a few weeks of backlash. The Asian community is worried because their businesses is the only thing which is sustaining them since they are few in numbers. They are demanding special legislations for their group. They're on edge that this virus is going to cause an socio-economic shift, meaning China will no longer be the manufacturing hub. American companies will bring back those jobs that they have outsourced during the mid-80s. There's no amount of leverage China, Japan, or Vietnam has to make American corporations to continue doing business with them. The grassroots community activist movement does not support bigotry or racism, but this is proof yet again that we as black people are treated like a third and fourth class citizens in a country that our ancestors built. 400 years, black people in America have been dealing with institutionalized racism, discrimination, and police brutality. Where is our hotline? There was no hotline created for black Americans when Mr. Lee was punching and kicking Keisha in his nail salon. Obama, our first black president in America, gave us false hope that change will come, or change has come in the White House. Yet the black community is under attack nationwide due to urban gentrification, which means non-black people that have a higher income can take over our existing black districts because of the increase in rents and property value. Now, let's look at the Congressional Black Caucus. They are in name only, and they are not doing anything for the black community because they are in the pockets of the financial elites. Their focuses are on advocating for illegal immigrants, people who are breaking the law. Illegal immigrants have sanctuary cities created for them, created by the Democratic Party. Why is there no sanctuary cities for black people? We need new black leaders at the local level who care about rebuilding the black community and putting our interests first, putting an end to corruption and abuse of power, and fighting for community safety. That's what we're going to do in the grassroots community activist movement, and that's what I've been pushing for the past 28 years. The Grassroots Community Activist Movement will become the Grassroots Community Activist Institute, and we will take the lead in rebuilding the black community and create an economic base starting in Chicago. We're going to use our minds, voices, and natural talents and skills to select our own representatives at the local level. GRCAM mission is to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through our programs and services, if given a chance. But how can I do this when I'm unable to find qualified black middle-class professionals to join my management team? This is the main reason why I wrote my story. Since my book is barely selling, all I have left is to get my 501c3 application approved by the IRS so that I can begin soliciting angel investors and sponsors to invest $400,000 for my film project. More than likely, they will require me to water down my story, but since I lack support from our people, black, quote-unquote, black people, I have no choice but to comply if I want my story to be shown on the big screen. All of the proceeds from the film would put me in a better position financially to hire black middle-class professionals purchase property in Chicago as well as in Africa, buy equipment in order to make sure that this business will be effective and successful for years to come, and that can be passed down from generation to generation. Because, wake up call again, black people in America only have 2% of the nation's wealth. White America has 90% of the nation's wealth. So, this is the major problem that's going on. Black people don't want to talk about that. I understand, we want to focus on, religion and spirituality. But as a Christian socialist, I like to balance things. And that's what this organization is all about, balancing the natural with spirituality. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute will raise the standard in Black America and Africa. Our objective is to strengthen the Black family and promote opportunities in the African American community. GRCAM will support local residents who are members and in need of emergency food and basic supplies, interim housing / shelters, primary health care services, utility assistance, and support for Black children, ensuring that resources go where they are needed. GRCAM will offer sound programs, providing training for leadership and policy making in society, and for management, and serving as a resource in the African American community. GRCAM will promote the best of Black culture, art exhibitations, seminars, workshops, and live performances. GRCAM will offer music studio, digital photography, fashion, computer graphics, filmmaking, poetry, spoken word, journalism, and water-based painting. Through rigorous civic engagement and interfaith, intercultural activities, GRCAM will prepare our students to become global citizens and visionary leaders. On the spiritual side, Yahshua, or Jesus, they call him that as well, has called me to make an impact in the Black community and in the marketplace through my Christian business. The reason why I say my Christian business, because he gave me the vision and I claim ownership. This business is also based on my personal life experience. The Black church has its own government system and is governed by apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. Many people grew up in the church acting out of order. We are living in perilous times. As soon as we establish the Grassroots Community Activist Institute in America, the sooner we can discuss expanding it to the motherland and make Africa great again. I try to use my limited resources to reach brave and smart Black people and my podcast as a platform to recruit qualified Black middle class professionals in America as well as worldwide, and to bring the desired change the Black world is craving for in this trying time. GRCAM will operate under these guiding principles. Think local first. We will serve our community and maintain a district market inch by supporting locally owned Black businesses and encouraging trade within the Black community. We will encourage our members to recirculate money in our community, promote community safety, engage in neighborhood activities, promote art and culture, health and wellness, theater, film, urban life, and meet the needs of the community and operate substantially. a sense of belonging. This organization stressed the importance of compassion and treating all of our members as unique individuals. Our commitment to the Black community includes a deep respect for our culture and providing quality programs and services in a safe and caring environment. Our goal is that our staff feels like family and our members feel like welcome guests in our home. With that said, non-Black sympathizers are welcome to be a part of us, but before we allow them into our space, I want to make sure under my leadership that we as Black people, we get our house in order first. Again, no one under my leadership will ever have to experience such humiliation and rejection for trying to do something positive in the Black community. Those that rejected me for the past 28 years, I forgive you as a Christian, but mark my words, as a business owner, you have no place in my organization. That's just how it is. I take this personal. This is not just business, this is personal. Community. We will rebuild the Black community by investing in the Black community through our businesses and having local residents as equal partners through collaboration and cooperation. GRCAI will support local residents by providing goods, services, and community gathering space. Innovation. GRCAI aims to create a smarter Black America by producing Black entrepreneurs to keep the Black community sustainable for years to come. We believe local Black business ownership is good for the Black community, and to that end, we support public policies that encourage the advancement of Black entrepreneurship. Act local, think global. Health and prosperity can occur only if we work in concert with our natural environment. We understand that our community belongs to a larger system, and we consider our action in light of the fact that they have on the well-being of our planet. So in other words, what I'm saying is that, we want to be environmental friendly. And, we want to promote green jobs through this business as well. The only thing which is preventing me from turning my virtual Christian socialist organization, GRCAM, into a real Black Christian business, GRCAI, is the lack of manpower and capital. This is why I turn to social media to get my message out to the public through my YouTube videos, my social groups, my blog postings, my online talk show, my revised book, and now through my upcoming urban Christian film, Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins. This is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. This is what I want to be remembered for, fighting against this Willie Lynch mentality within the Black culture. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute will be membership-based. Everyone will be screened, must attend our mandatory orientation and sign the community pledge. No exceptions. No hardened criminals, no active gang members, no urban terrorists, no pedophiles, and no half-steppers allowed in my organization. This is how I get down. This is my contribution back to my community, society, and throughout the African diaspora. Before I open up the phone lines, I just want to make this clear that this organization we want to start it here in America first for credibility before we expand to the African continent. For credibility, because I don't want to sit up here and have to explain myself on the continent. My actions and all the things that I'm going to do through this business is going to speak for itself. Again, I just want to make sure that I connect with other like-minded individuals. So Some people might say that, my podcasts or videos are boring. To each his own. Again, this is a public announcement. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos is real. This is it's dear to me because I'm from those inner cities, and this is my way of just trying to give back before I quote unquote cut and run. I want to make sure that my people that's trapped in American ghettos are treated with dignity and with respect, and those that want more out of life, we are going to be there to serve them. Again, we're only going to work with black families that want to utilize our programs and services. Those that don't want to be bothered with us, then, hey, like I say, we pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. And again, I'm only responsible for my members. So if you're not a member, peace and blessings. That's all I can say. This organization is something that's going to be positive. I want to, again, promote the best of black culture and take back all this negativity that that was hijacked by these urban terrorists that's in our communities that's terrorizing, because for them they glorify the violence, and they think that that's what life is all about, and that's not the case. I do not associate with criminals. I do not associate with con artists. So if anyone want to join this organization, I want to make sure that you're on the up and up with me. That's how come you're going to have to sign that community pledge. I don't operate like the next man. Now, we will, in time, offer a second chance program for ex-offenders for nonviolent crimes, as well as former gang members. We'll give them a chance to come back to the fold, to be part of the black family, as well as homeless individuals that's within the community. But again, everybody will be treated the same. Black women will make the same amount of money as black men through this organization, through our corporate workplace. And again, the nonprofit cooperative, that's my gift to the community. And the red zone, that's going to be our for-profit service-based business, and that's how I'm going to make my bread and butter. So it's going to be, part of it is going to be a nonprofit. That's the green zone, and that's going to be free for our members within the community. And the red zone is how we're going to be able to compete and with other businesses, but that's going to be how we're going to again, that's how I'm going to make my bread and butter, and that's where that's what's going to make this organization different, because we're going to have a nonprofit, and we're also going to have a for-profit. Yes, it's going to be separate because of that's how things are here in America in terms of well, basically that's what the financial elites want. You to have so much limit. They put limitations on the nonprofit. So, and again, I have to start it out as a nonprofit. In the book, I said GRCAM was going to be for-profit, but I had to change that because I couldn't find investors. And again, I'm just trying my best to get the ball rolling. But I've been faithful. I've been to the vision that my Creator has given me to do, and I've been doing the best that I can. Now, my Facebook page is under attack, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on Facebook. This is my second Facebook page. I've been on Facebook for 16 years, and Hackers and my haters, they're forever bugging. I'm not bothering people. If you're not interested in what I'm saying, just keep it moving. I'm just trying to recruit brave and smart people that think outside the box, like me and Sister Renee, to work with us, so that way we can move from behind the computer. But nevertheless, those of you that's on my friends list, and also those of you that's in my social groups, again, if you're serious about being part of this film project, or if you're serious about working with me and Sister Renee, please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox while I'm still on Facebook, before they shut my page down. Because once they do that, then hey, you'll lose me. And I noticed that this has been happening with a lot of the groups that I've created. I was on 300 social networks, but now it's a lot of those networks has been shut down. And also, I lost a lot of people in my online groups. But nevertheless, ain't nothing changed. I have my information, all the stuff that I posted on my flash drive. And also everything I'm saying, I'm repeating myself, but I'm just paraphrasing here and there. But everything I've been saying, I've been speaking about, I've been saying for the past 28 years. I just try to paraphrase it a little bit and things like that. But I'm an authentic black man with a plan. And I'm speaking out to the global black family. I want to connect with those of you, not the ones that's in the pockets of the financial elites. Those of you that's, I would say, working class. Those of you that also that's middle class, because you have the talents and skills that I'm looking for to make this organization successful. But I'm not looking for those that's already working in quote unquote government high positions, like those that's the black congressional Congress, because they're not going to do anything. They're in the pockets of the financial elites. And so I don't want to reach out to those type of people. Also, the people from the African Union. That's sad that I don't know how to pronounce the woman's name. The doctor that she spoke out against France, and then they fired her. So you see what I'm saying? Those organizations are just a front for the financial elites. They're not going to do anything for the interests for the masses. The grassroots community activist movement is for the masses. We're the soil. That's why I want to bring this organization to the heart of the inner cities, those places that's overlooked by society, American society, that's full of gang and drug infest and high crime. That's where we want to bring this organization. But I don't have another 28 years to keep talking about it. Only reason that it's taking me so long because I'm having a hard time trying to connect with other like-minded people. The book is barely selling. So the Lord put in my heart, or Yahshua put in my heart, take it to the big screen. Because when it's all said and done, this organization shall come to pass. And this organization is not trying to be like other black organizations, copycatting and all that stuff. No, that's not what this is about. We want to strengthen the black family and work with broken black families that want more out of life. Yes, I understand nobody in their right mind want to work in an urban war zone. But it is what it is. If the urban terrorists put down their weapons and they drop their gang affiliation, and we're going to help remove their tattoos, they could be part of us. They could be part of the solution. But again, I'm going to run this Christian business the way I run my home, and that's drama free. And I want everybody in America to know my story. And I want everybody in Africa that's interested in being a part of this organization to know my story as well. I'm not interested in running for public office. I'm interested in helping families that's struggling to break those generational curses. So I'm not your average type of person that's just going to focus on the pie in the sky. I would have someone else to do that. Our focus, again, as Christian socialists, is about making an impact in the economy and working with black families that want more out of life. Other or non-black sympathizers, they're welcome to join us, but we have a black economic agenda. And if those people that want to join us have a problem with that, then they can keep it moving. But how can I, where's my Black Wall Street builders? That's my question to Black America. My other question is, how can I reach out to non-black people to help build up Black Wall Street? That doesn't make sense. It's black people's responsibility to rebuild Black Wall Street. So there you have it. This is where I stand, and this is what the grassroots community activist movement is all about. And this is, my quote-unquote legacy and all that. But again, even if it doesn't manifest in my lifetime, at least, I done what I could. Again, after this film, this is it for me. I'm not going to keep trying to reach out to closed-minded individuals, but I'm going to do the best that I can to get this thing started here in Chicago, because this is where I live. But my question to Black Americans, why, that's been marching and protesting for the past 52 years, they wear that on their shoulder like a badge of honor. To me, it's a disgrace. Why are you begging financial elites, the same people that enslaved our ancestors, for basic equal protection under the law and all that stuff? They haven't done that within 52 years. So why you still want to keep marching and protesting? So those people that don't want to work with us, them the people that, they won't be allowed to be part of this organization. Because all they want to do is just sit back and complain about the quote-unquote white man. But then when I'm presenting a solution base about, first focus on rebuilding our black community through the grassroots community activist movement, then, they want to sit up here and give me a hard time, basically. And that's what this film is going to be about. The war against Willie Lynch begins. And that's what I want to bring to the black global family. To break that colonized mentality. We ain't having that up in this organization. For GRCAM or GRCAI is more than just a new business endeavor. This is a new system. That's why I'm having, on a spiritual level, that's why I'm having a hard time. I understand this. It don't take nobody 28 years to start a business. I mean, if I was just trying to, open up a liquor store or, one of those small churches, then, I don't think I would have any problems. They call it, a storefront. But that's not what I'm called to do. Again, Yahshua called me to move beyond the four walls of the church and to make an impact in the black community as well as in the economy through this Christian business. But the only thing is, he didn't tell me who he was going to have on my management team. He put in my heart and mind about 30. So get 30 black middle class professionals. I don't know where they're at. But again, I will not start this organization until I have my management team in place. And until we get this organization started here, hopefully in Chicago, because again, if the communities, if they don't want to work with us, then we'll take it to another city. But before we come to Africa, we want to make our mark here in America. So that's where I stand. If you would like to call in, you're welcome. Phone lines are open, but in order to call in, you would have to click on the phone icon, because it's going to be through Facebook Messenger. So you don't have to actually call me in terms of a physical number, but you have to hit that phone icon, and then you will be on the air. So the phone lines are now open, and again, I encourage everyone that's on my friends list. Yes, I do want to stress this. You do not have to be a Christian to be part of this organization. I don't want no atheists, but I'm just saying, secular people, you're welcome, but you don't have to, be part of, like Christianity. That's why I say I'm open to work with moderate Muslims that want to work with us in terms of helping rebuild the black community. But again, bottom line, everyone will be screened. Everyone will know my story, because in order to know about the business, you're going to have to know about me, because this business is based on my experience. I'm a no-nonsense type of man. I'm on the up and up. I don't have nothing to hide. But bottom line, we will solve these social issues in America, in our community, first, before we quote unquote cut and run, because I do not want to go to Africa empty-handed. I want to bring people that's talented with technology. I want to bring that to the African continent to help improve the African economy, to provide jobs for Native Africans, to help improve their lives, to bring education, to help raise the standard of living in Africa. Not one part of Africa, like, let's say, Ghana, but South Africa, Kenya, other Angola, and other places that I mentioned, in terms of from my past podcasts. I don't have, my notes in front of me about that, but we want to make our presence known in 10 African nations, bottom line. And my revised book is the foundation of this business. So, either way it goes, you're still going to know my story. I talk about in chapter 1, I talk about my personal experience. That's very important. I want people to know about my experience, because I don't want other people, especially quote unquote the younger people, to have to endure all this foolishness that I had to go through. It's ridiculous. And that mess is going to end right here up in my business. And I will declare war on this Willie Lynch mentality within the black culture through this business. Bottom line. And again, I'm not looking for, quote unquote, for people, like fame and all that kind of stuff. My focus is on eradicating urban violence. Now, when we go to Africa, that's over. Our cause about fighting for eradicating, help stop the genocide in American ghettos, we're not going to bring that to Africa. That's why I'm trying my best to get it started here. But I want people to understand this is the reason why it took so long. It took so long because of this Willie Lynch mentality. I got mine, you get yours mentality. people, don't want to see. They think by rejecting my ideas and all that stuff, that's gonna hurt me. Please, I can just take it somewhere else. I don't have to do it here in Chicago, but this is where I was born and raised. So I want to give back to, my former community before I, decide to hand it over to someone else and take it to the next level, which is in Africa. All right, so again, the phone lines are open. If you want to be on this show, cool. If not, we can call it a night. But I'm ready for you. And everybody is fair game. Everybody that's on my friends list. You can call in if you want to participate. If not, it is what it is. Have a nice and safe weekend, everyone. Peace and blessings.